Good day everyone. We are the group 14. So we are going to discuss about the significant discoveries of Robert Fox in the Philippines. I am Marian Isaman from BSE 1B. So first and foremost, who is Robert Fox? Robert Bradford Fox was an anthropologist and leading historian on pre-Hispanic Philippines, a distinguished American who made substantive and enduring contributions to Philippine anthropology. Through his research, publications, teaching, and public services, he was born on May 11, 1918 in Galveston, Texas. Robert Fox career: Chief Anthropologist for the Philippine National Museum, taught at the University of the Philippines, Presidential Assistant for National Minorities, Presidential Advisor on Anthropology under then President Ferdinand E. Marcos. Robert Fox works. For some 4 years and 8 months, Fox conducted field research among numerous folk and mountain people in the Philippines. He spent more than 6 years of cave and open site archaeology in Palawan, Sorsogon, Albay, Batangas, and Pampanga.
Hi everyone, I'm Francia Blanda Sardinio. I'm going to share with you some information I gathered about the Tabon Cave. In 1962, the Tabon Cave was discovered by an American from the National Museum, Dr. Robert B. Fox, together with his team of archaeologists. The name Tabon was derived after a large-footed bird that lays its egg on the cave floors. There was only one cave originally named Tabon, but all caves in Nipun Point Reservation have become collectively known as the Tabon Cave Complex, where numerous archaeological artifacts have been discovered. The Tabon Cave Complex is referred to as the cradle of Philippine civilization. The Tabon Cave was analyzed to be the burial site or habitation of Asian people in the Philippines. The manunggul jars, earthenware, jade ornaments, and jewelry, stone tools, animal bones, and human fossils have been found in Tabon Cave. The archaeological remains of Tabon Cave suggest that the early people living in the cave preferred to catch small animals, birds, and bats that live within the cave because the stone tools found were small enough to kill small animals. There are approximately 215 caves in the reservation, 38 of which have been established to be of archaeological and anthropological significance. Only 7 caves are accessible and open to the public. The National Museum estimates that only 25% of the archaeological sites have been excavated, leaving much of the area for future archaeological expeditions. The Tabon Cave Complex and all of Lipon Point are located on the west coast of Palawan. On April 11, 1972, Presidential Proclamation Number 996 declared the cave complex and all of Lipun Point in Quezon, Palawan a site museum reservation. This declaration ensured the protection and preservation of the caves, the immediate vicinity from deforestation and destruction.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Cristina Maisalon. My topic is about Manunggul jar. The Manunggul jar is a second burial jar excavated from a Neolithic burial state in the Manunggul Cave of the Tabon Cave at Lipuan Point in Palawan, Philippines. It dates from 890 to 710 BC, and the two prominent figures at the top handle of its cover represent the journey of the soul to the afterlife. Manunggul jar is widely acknowledged to be one of finest Philippine pre-colonial artworks, even proceed and is considered a masterpiece of Philippine chromatics. It is listed as a national treasure and designed as Item 64 MO74 by the National Museum of the Philippines. It is now hosted at the National Museum of Anthropology and is one of the most popular exhibits there. It is made from clay with some sand soil. Discovery: the Manunggul jar was found by Robert B. Fox and Miguel Antonio in 1964. It was found alongside the remains of Tabon Man. It was recovered by folks in Chamber A of Manungol Cave in southwestern Palawan. Manungol Cave is one of the Tabon Cave in Lipuan Point. The Tabon Cave are known to be a site of jar burial with artifacts dating in a range from 2300 to 50 BC. Chamber A dates as a late Neolithic burial state. 78 jars and 18 vires, including the Manungol jar, was discovered on the subsurface and surface of Chamber A. Each artifact varied in design and form but was eventually a type of funerary pottery. The first ever exhibition that discovered this burial jar was in the year 1964 by Robert Fox. During that time, he and his team were excavating the Taban Cave complex, spec- specifically in the Lipuan Point. Fox excavation was most useful in many ways. The inside of jar contains human bones which were covered in red paint, like Egyptian burial practices. The jar also had numerous bracelets. Is perhaps unrivaled in Southeast Asia, the works of an artist and a master potter. These words were said by Robert Fox when asked as to how he would describe the jar origin based from its appearance. Let's proceed to the design of Manungol jar. Jar show that the Filipino maritime culture is remote, that it reflects its ancestors' religious beliefs. Many epics around the Philippines will tell how souls go to the next life. About aboard boats pass through the river and sea. This relief is connected with an Austronesian's belief of the Anito. The fine line and intricate design of Manongol jar reflect the artistry of early Filipinos. The design are proof of the Filipino common heritage from the Austronesian speaking ancestors, despite the diversity of cultures of the Filipinos. The upper part of Manungol jar as well as the cover is covered with sylviline scroll design, which are painted with hematite. Early Filipino believes that a man is composed of a body, a life force called ginhawa, and a kaluluwa. This explains why the design of the cover of the Manungol jar features these three faces: the soil, the boatman, and the boat itself. The faces of the figure and on the palm of the boat are eyes and mouth rendered in the same style as other artifacts of Southeast Asia of that period. The two human figures in the boat represent a yogage to the afterlife. The boatman is holding a string paddle while the one is on his front show hands across on his chest. The streetman's oar is missing its paddle, as is the mast in the certain of the boats against which the streetman should have placed his feet. Jar burial. The practice of jar burial is an instance of secondary burial in which only bones of the deceased are reburied. The jar itself was not interred.
Fossilized skull cap or a frontal bone called the Tabon Man, which is attributed to the date of 22,000 to 24,000 years ago, from the Pleistocene period or the Last Ice Age. The fossil was recovered from the archaeological excavation of late Dr. Robert B. Fox in the early 1960s from the now famous Tabon Cave located in Lipon Point, formerly Alfonso XIII and now Quezon, Palawan, Philippines. This information has been widely quoted in many textbooks in the Philippines. However, there is really very little information regarding the human occupation of the Tabon Cave, the anthropological and physical descriptions of the fossil remains, and their archaeological and prehistoric significance. The skull cap from the Tabon was actually a female, and it was not scientifically compared with the known human fossils around the world with their relative ages. In the 17th Congress of Indo-Pacific Prehistory Association,
that was held at the Academia Sinica in Taipei, Taiwan from 8 to 15 September 2002. The three new dates of the three human fossils that were archaeologically excavated from the famous Tabon Cave were announced by Florent Detroit and Eusebio Tizon. The human fossils were sampled from the newly developed direct dating method for fossilized remains known as the uranium series dating and were worked by Christophe Falgueres and Sebastian Haume. The first two human fossils dated were recovered by Robert Fox, but the last and oldest human fossils was recovered from the most recent archaeological re-excavation of Tabon Cave by the Archaeology Division, National Museum of the Philippines. The implication of these recent dates has a big impact on the evolution of modern man, not only in the Philippines and the rest of the island Southeast Asia, but in the whole world. The Philippines is now a part of the bigger pictures of human evolution. BP means before the present or years ago, where the present is determined by convention as the year 1950, when the radiocarbon method was developed and used. In the carbon-14 method, applied at Tabon charcoal samples were used in the age determination and not the fossil remains themselves. In this case, the Tabon frontal bone fossil was attributed to the date of 22,000 to 24,000 years ago as reconstructed by Fox. In the recently conducted direct dating method on the Tabon human remains, it was found out that there was a very low collagen content left in the bones, which greatly hindered carbon-14 dating on the fossils. However, the uranium-thorium method provided consistent results on the first two human fossils recovered by Robert Fox and the latest one that were archaeologically excavated from the recent work in Tabon Cave by the Archaeology Division of National Museum.
Finally, the portion in the documentary video when Dr. Fox delved deeper and deeper until he reached the Tavan Cave's bedrock, where he discovered identical artifacts but with varying ages in the Thousand Peak my interest. It simply confirmed that the Tavan Caves people's way of life for thousands of years. 50,000 years of Philippine history have been unrevealed and brought to life thanks to the astonishing finds in the Tavan Caves and other recognized caves. As a result, our own nation, the Philippines, is culturally and historically diverse. Our nation is truly fascinating and enthralling. The caves discovery demonstrated that our land is full with mysteries and potential that we are continuously seeking to learn about and explore. With such discoveries, it became clear that we still have a long way to go in uncovering the past hidden truths. As Filipinos, we have yet to truly comprehend our origins and beginnings.